let me just pick up on that. You said when elected, you will work hard to pass comprehensive immigration reform. I want to make sure I understand. Are you suggesting that you would break it up into pieces and try to pass individual legislation that deals with all the issues you were talking about? Or will we see you in your first term strongly advocate again for a single comprehensive immigration reform bill?
Well, I much prefer a comprehensive approach. I think it should all be done at the same time, and it should all be interconnected, and that would be my preference. You know, we'll see what happens. We hope we can begin to sort of turn some of the controversy away from this issue and look at it in a very realistic and responsible way, and that's what I will advocate.
So let me turn now to what is probably the most important issue facing our community, and all the polls suggest that when asked, the #1 priority in terms of America's future is education and fixing the education system for our children in particular. And NCLR just very recently commissioned a poll with the Gates Foundation and others called the Strong American Schools poll. And what we found there is that, in fact, not only is education the #1 priority, but the biggest concern are those disparities between the educational achievement for our kids and others. What would you do, briefly, to really improve the educational outcomes, close those gaps, strengthen our schools, and make sure that we've got a system that works for all kids, especially looking at the children of our future?
Well, I think it is the most important issue, and you have to start in the preschool years. You must start with supporting and strengthening families and giving parents the tools to be their children's first teachers. I mean, I have worked for many years in early childhood development, and I know that the best way to close the achievement gap is starting in the preschool years. There is absolutely convincing evidence of that. So in my administration, we will focus on programs that work. And you have people here who are working in early childhood programs, and they are great models, but they don't get the funding that they need. And we need to do more on early Head Start, something that I helped to start when I was First Lady, and we will continue to try to expand that. We will expand Head Start. I have advocated universal pre-kindergarten for 4-year-olds, which I believe is one of the most important issues. And I want to give a preference to children from families where English is not the first language, so that they can get caught up and ready when they enter school in kindergarten. And of course, you know, during the school years, we have to honor and respect our teachers. You know, people ask, why is there a teacher shortage? Because there's a respect shortage. And we need to do more to reach out and make it clear that we value our teachers. And that means fixing No Child Left Behind, NCLB, because it has been an unfunded mandate and it hasn't produced the results, particularly in schools that really need the most help. We also have to do more to have programs that encourage young people to finish school and go on either with higher education or with skills training. I'm a big supporter of TRIO and Gear Up, 2 programs we started in the Clinton administration that I want to continue. I am a sponsor of the DREAM Act. I wish that we could pass that separately and not wait for comprehensive reform. And then I want to do 2 additional things. When a young person does graduate from high school, I mean, our first priority is we have to cut the dropout rate, and we have to convince young people to stay in school, and that may mean, you know, more mentoring, more after-school programs, school that goes year-round, anything that can give these young people a real chance at being successful. And then we do need more programs for kids who don't go to college, because whether you're Hispanic, African American, white, whatever, you know, most kids do not go to college, and we forget that. And we're not doing enough to help those young people get prepared for jobs in the 21st century in this very competitive global economy. And there are a lot of jobs out there, but we're not fixing the jobs and the individual to go together. And finally, the other night, very, very late at night,